Today, I want to talk about how to increase your revenue per customer. Why is this important? Well, it should be obvious, but in case it's not, if you get more customers to spend more money, then you need less customers to reach your goals. Or on the flip side, if you increase your customers and revenue per customer as well, then you're going to blow your goals out of the water. So it's really a win-win of increasing your revenue per customer. So that's why I want to talk about this topic today, because I think it can really help your business. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm LL, founder of handmadeandbeyond.com, where I help Etsy and e-commerce sellers start, build, and grow their Etsy businesses. I hope you find this video helpful. Like, subscribe, share with someone else so they can help. Many Etsy sellers and e-commerce businesses focus on sales and sales alone. And don't get me wrong, I mean, if you don't have sales, then you don't have a business. So it's a natural thing to focus on getting sales, getting more sales. But this isn't the only important factor that you should focus on. Oftentimes, a lot of sellers don't really focus on revenue per customer. But when paired with sales, it can dramatically increase your overall revenue. So here's kind of an example to really drive this point home, and because I really wanted to write on this whiteboard behind me. So say you sell an average of your basically your products that you sell are $20, or you average it averages out to revenue per customer of $20, and you have 100 customers. And so basically you have 100 customers at whatever the time period you're talking about. So this would basically equate to $2,000 in sales. Not too shabby. I'll take $2,000, right? So here's kind of the next step of this. Now say you sell an average of $30. So you bump this up, by $10. Pretty sure that math is correct. I gotta make sure my math is correct. The other video I was off by like $1, and people were telling me about it. So I'm not a math scientist by any means. So you increase it back to the trading here. So you increase it by $10 on average, $10 a customer revenue increase. Now, only by that $10 increase, if you still have 100 customers, this bumps this up to $3,000. An extra $1,000 by increasing your revenue per customer by $10. Doesn't seem that unattainable to be able to do that. Quite an extra chunk of money to put in your dinosaur piggy bank, or whatever piggy bank you have. Not everyone has dinosaur piggy banks like me. So I'm sure the next question is like, okay, this sounds great. I'll take an extra $10 per customer. How the hell do I do it? And that's what I'm here to tell you. I'm going to give you 7 ways that you can increase your revenue per customer. And this is something that you can start implementing and thinking about in your business today, because that's why I'm doing this, to help you make more money at the end of the day. So let's dive in. I'm going to erase this and let's dive into the 7 ways you can do that. All right, so the first way that you can increase revenue per customer, number 1 is going to be through backlinks. All right, so what is a backlink? A backlink is a link embedded in your description that leads people to other parts of your website. You can have backlinks in your website, your blog, whatever you're doing. So this could help you in those assets and as well if you want to implement this strategy. But what I'm talking about specifically, relating it to Etsy, or if you're selling somewhere else, in your description, you can put a backlink to similar products or complementary products in your description. So if you sell a bracelet, you can be like, hey, do you want the matching earrings to this? Here's a backlink. Or if you have another bracelet that's very similar, like, hey, if you like this bird bracelet, here's another bird bracelet you may like. So the goal of a backlink is to keep people inside your ecosystem, inside your website, so they're not leaving and going somewhere else, especially when it comes to Etsy, when it's so easy to leave and go to other stores because there's related products at the bottom. The goal is to keep them interested, buying more, hopefully buying something, but you can also use the backlinks to hopefully get them to buy more. That's why you would put it for like complementary products or accessory type products, but you can put it for related or like products as well, because most people aren't coming to your store and looking at your stuff. They're finding you in search, and they're looking at that listing that they found in search. If it's not what they like, then they're moving on to the next listing. They're not, most of them are not going to come to your store and play around, even though that is the dream and the hope that they come and mess around in our store, but chances are slim. So that is number one. Number two is low, middle, high. Low, middle, and high priced products. Here's a good example kind of driving this point home. So Starbucks, if maybe you've been to Starbucks, maybe you're basic like me and like the pumpkin spice latte. Hopefully it comes soon, usually like August. It comes sooner and sooner every year, but I'm basic. I like my pumpkin spice latte. Anyways, not neither here nor there. Starbucks, not all of them, but some of them you go in there and they have like a $2,000 espresso machine, or it's $1,500. I don't know. It's a lot of money. I know that. And you're like, why the heck would someone come to Starbucks and buy an espresso machine? I mean, that makes literally no sense. Like, I'm not going to do that. They have that in there because people do that. They come in and they're, for whatever reason, maybe they need a late minute gift, or maybe they decided that day, that morning, that they're going to buy an espresso machine. So people do buy it. Is it a lot? No, of course not. It's a very small segment of their market size that buys that, of their customer population that will buy that. Very, very small, but they do buy it. And that is adding to the revenue of the company. I'm sure there's a heck of a big markup on it. So even if they have, I'm sure it's even more than this, but even if they have 100 people buy $1,000 espresso machine, I mean, that's, what is it, $10,000 bucks? Is that $10,000 bucks? That is a lot of money. It's $100,000 bucks. I don't know. You guys do the math. Anyways, so that is a lot of freaking money that they wouldn't have had before. So the reason they do this is because of the small percentage of people that will want it. It's extra money. It's extra money for the company. If they didn't have it, then people wouldn't even have the option to buy it and do the crazy thing of buying it. So that is the example to kind of drive this point home. If you guys did not have, most people are right here in the mid or whatever. That's like their average, So like your middle is like, so your average is like you sell $25 products or $10 products or whatever. That's where you live right here. But most people are not going down to low. Most people were definitely not going to high. Think about how you can offer a low tier line of products, high tier line of products. So you're going to get it. You're going to get both ways. You're going to get people come in. They're going to want the low tier stuff. So you're going to have an offering for them. You're going to get people come in. They want the mid tier stuff. You're going to have an offering for them. They're going to come in. They're going to want the high tier stuff. You're going to have an offering for them. Some people want like the most expensive thing. They want to buy a gift. What's the most expensive thing out there? I want to show that I love that person more than anybody. So I'm going to buy them a gift and buy their love, right? Or maybe you have other things going on in your shop, like a free shipping incentive or stuff like that I'm going to talk about later, where if they have a mid-price thing, they need like $5 more to get them to free shipping. You have that low-tier price thing. They don't want to spend another $30 in the middle here to get the free shipping. They want to just get over the hump. So you have a low-tier price thing that you can offer them. Or maybe someone wants to buy 5 items and they don't have the funds or budget to do 5 middle-tier things. So they want to buy the 5 low things. So those are the reasons why you have to diversify your offerings and your pricing, and think about your product line. How can you offer like some high ticket thing, some low ticket things? Most of you are going to live in the middle, and that's fine, but you need to add those other tiers in there. All right, so that is number 2. Number 3 is going to be bundles and sets. So this is basically where you curate items together. You can even give people a smaller discount to buy 2 items. Again, most people are never never going to come to your store in because they're finding your stuff in search. So they're never going to see all the other stuff that you have to offer. But if you have a matching bracelet and a matching necklace, you can put those together in one listing, curate that for them. They're finding it in search and they're going to buy that set. They're going to buy that bundle when ordinarily they wouldn't know that the bracelet exists. They're just landing on the necklace. And sure, maybe they may buy the necklace, but maybe they would buy this set. So if you put them together, it's increasing the revenue per customer, doubling it, and you're providing a good experience for the customer because you're curating that for them. You do it with art. Maybe you curate a living room set, or a clothing set, or whatever. You can do it with anything. But what it does is it basically takes the revenue that you would have made and doubles it, triples it, quadruples it, depending on the set or bundle that you're curating for the buyer. So this is a great strategy to increase revenue per customer. This strategy alone can make you significantly more money in your business. So I highly recommend doing it. All right, number 4 is repeat or returning customers. So I mean, this is something you should always be focused on. The ways that you get people to come back, because if people are coming back and spending more money, you're increasing the revenue per customer. You're increasing your overall revenue. So this is something that is very, very important. It's any business is important for, but think about like a restaurant. Restaurants, this is their bread and butter, getting people to come back and patron them again and again and again. If people are one and done with a restaurant business, that restaurant will die. And not your e-commerce business won't die, but it'll make you able to survive a lot better if you're getting repeat customers. It will be a smaller percentage. It's harder to get repeat customers with e-commerce, but it's not impossible. I think I'm around like 10% repeat customers, something like that in my business. So I think that's a pretty good target to shoot for. But how do you get repeat customers? Well, first, great customer service. I would say a good product, a good quality product. You're delivering on your promise of what the product is. People love it. Fast shipping, all that stuff plays into someone wanting to come back. The other thing that you can do is discounts on your packing slip. You can offer a discount for them to come back and buy from you again. In Etsy, you can do that right on the packing slip, which is nice. Sales and promotions, running these will create excitement and build loyalty for people that have already bought from you. But this is a good strategy to bring more people in anyways. New products, obviously, this helps people come back. If you offer the same thing over and over and over, it's not giving people a reason to come back and buy the new thing. It's the exact reason why tech companies offer something new every couple of months, a new version, a new upgrade. You can do the same thing with whatever you're offering. You can upgrade it, change it, tweak it, change the color, all kinds of things that you can do there to keep things fresh in your shop. This is the exact reason why you should have a consistent listing strategy. Keep things fresh, keep people coming back, so everything doesn't look the same. The other way is through email, marketing, social media posts. This can keep you top of mind for the people that are following you, entice them to come back. So that regular routine of posting content to past and new customers will bring in new customers, bring in past customers coming back because they're going to see your new stuff. They're going to see your sales, your promos, all that stuff is going to keep them coming back. So those are the strategies to get more repeat customers to increase the revenue per customer. All right, the next one is cross-selling and upselling. Cross and up. We keep it simple here. Cross-selling and upselling. So what do I mean by this? Well, cross-selling is to basically get them to buy more stuff in your shop, and you can do this again through backlinks. This is the easiest way to do that, so they can cross-sell them to like items or cross-sell to accessories, different things like that. So that's a good way to increase revenue per customer. Make them aware of the other things that you have to offer. The other way that you can do this is through, again, upselling, which upselling is kind of the same thing, but basically you can do this through backlinks. You can do this through what you're sharing, what you're advertising, but it's to more expensive items. So you can be strategic about this. If you have silver version of a necklace, maybe you link to the gold version, the more expensive version, because some people may want that. And you're basically upselling them into a more expensive product. Or again, you can do this with a set. So you have this one item. Do you want the set? It's more expensive. It's this. So you can be strategic with how you're doing it. It's a little bit easier outside of Etsy. If you have your own website, you can do this through like pop-ups. You can do this through order bumps, actual upsell buttons, things like that. Etsy, you're limited, but you can still do it, through backlinks and the things that your pictures and things like that. But just know that this is stuff. If you have other sources where you're selling your stuff, you can do it that way a little bit easier. The other way is through obviously your social media posts, email lists, things like that. You can do those offerings where you're basically showing them a comparison, like, hey, here's my new thing, but here's the normal thing, here's the upgraded version, here's a super upgraded version. Which one do you want to buy? Something like that, where you're basically notifying them of the thing and then giving them the upsell options so they can hopefully take advantage of it. So that is, cross-selling, upselling, things to think about as far as increasing, revenue per customer. The next way is through limited offers and higher priced items. We're just going to write offers on here, so I don't feel like writing all that. So limited offers and higher priced items. So basically you give people a little boost to save more while they spend more. So most higher priced items have higher margins. So even though you're discounting items, you should still be making more margin than a lower priced item. So for example, if you run a sale on maybe your high ticket items, it's a good sale. Maybe it's like 25% off, 30% off. It's a lot. It's a hefty sale, but your margin for those items is a lot higher because the price of the items is a lot higher. So maybe on your middle tier items, you're making, for a $30 item, maybe you're making like at a 50% margin, you're making $15. But say you have a high ticket item, which is $100. So at a 50% margin, you're making $50 as opposed to $15. So you can discount that down, and maybe with I don't know what the math is on this, but maybe with whatever discount, maybe instead of $50, you're making, $40 or $35. That's still better than $15. You're still making more money for that item. Sure, there's other things that play into it. Maybe it takes a little bit more time to make that item. Maybe there's more material costs, things like that. But usually at the end of the day, if you're structuring it correctly, your margins should be where they're at with your middle tier stuff, considering the material costs, labor, all that stuff. So you can still discount a little bit more and make more per purchase and more per revenue. So that's just something to consider. And the last one is going to be shipping. So running out of space here. So a higher shipping threshold for free shipping. And this one, this one's something you're going to have to test. But you can maybe instead of, Etsy has the free shipping guarantee of $35 or more. They give you an SEO boost if you do that. And I always tell people, if it works for your business, do it. If it doesn't, don't feel like you have to do it. It's not that big of a boost. We don't know for sure, but I know they're not going to put a ton of boost into that. It just doesn't make sense. So if $50 doesn't work or $35 doesn't work, maybe you do $50 or maybe you do $100. If you're selling a lot more expensive stuff or that's heavier, that costs more to ship, it doesn't make sense to do the $35. But also, if you incentivize it to where it makes sense to spend more money, then to get free shipping, then they're going to spend more money. You're going to make more per customer. And you're going to they're going to get a great deal, and then you're going to make more revenue at the end of the day. So changing and testing your free shipping incentive, you can do that as well. And this works the same thing with sales and promotions as well. You can test that for more amount spent. The bigger the discount, the bigger the amount off. You can do buy two get one free. You can set up a promo code for that in Etsy. So there's a lot of things that you can do to incentivize people to spend more money, then they'll get more money off or more money back, or they'll get perks. So just be thinking that way. But those are the 7 ways. So we got backlinks, low, middle, high priced items, bundles and sets, repeat customers, limited time offers on higher priced items, free shipping incentives, changing around that. So those are the 7 ways. that you guys can increase your revenue per customer. So be thinking in terms of that. At the end of the day, if you're implementing some of this stuff, most of this you can implement and work into your business today, and that's my hope for you. So hopefully you guys like this video, you got value out of it. I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for a new video soon.